Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Elephant Exposed. I am your host, CJ Jones, or Mr. TNTBS. And we're gonna go back here and look at a story that was almost forgotten about. So we're gonna dig back in the archives a little bit. We're gonna go back about 3 years ago, and some of you may or may not remember this particular story uh, concerning ex excessive force, and coupled along with some other things that took place on that day. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. Here we go.
The Aurora Police Department now at the center of a new controversy. Officers putting a family in handcuffs, mistakenly thinking they were in a stolen car. They were not.
It is just the latest in a string of controversial decisions made by Aurora police officers. And tonight, just as we hear from that horrified mother, in the last 5 minutes, we learn Aurora has named a new police chief.
Vanessa Wilson is the new chief. She's been working to address this incident along with the growing calls for changes in policy, transparency, and accountability.
Denver 7's Addie Guajardo joins us live tonight. Addie?
Well, Stan, and the Aurora city manager is recommending Vanessa Wilson. They're still having to make that final decision on the next interim police chief. He's addressed it today, saying that she has taken on head on some big issues, including firing those officers who mocked the death of Elijah McClain. There has been a lot of back.
Now, this new police chief right here obviously is taking the place of the old regime that as we can hear and will continue to hear, this is the same Aurora Police Department that claimed that they were going to be transparent with their policing, that they was going to change trainings and all these things. You know, they had all these big promises and all this other stuff. And this was even after the murder of Elijah. And so what we're going to hear about with this is going to be a family of women minding their own business. And I'll go ahead and let the video continue to refresh our memory.
Backlash from that firing. We've heard the Aurora Police Association called her unfit for the job, but today we're hearing a different story. Wilson has been with the Aurora Police Department 23 years. And today, just 30 minutes ago, I want to read this to you before we launch into our story today. She released a statement on behalf of the Aurora Police Department apologizing for a family that was wrongly targeted and held at gunpoint. We have that story.
Right.
It's these cries and screams Brittany Gilliam can't bring herself to relive.
That's terrifying. As a parent, that's heartbreaking.
Gilliam says she was searching for an open nail salon while sitting in a parking lot on Bucklet and Isle in Aurora.
And she's screaming like, hey, hey, auntie, the police.
When officers pulled up from behind.
They got their guns on it. They got their guns on it.
Gilliam was in the SUV with her 6-year-old daughter, 12-year-old sister, and 2 nieces, one 14, the other 17-year-old.
I mean, look at that little bit. I mean, seriously though.
Like reader alerted them.
Let's look at this.
Daughter.
Really? That little baby girl. Now, the 2 larger girls, okay. Even this one here. We're talking about common sense policing here. Even at best, that you started out doing what we call a felony stop, in which, yes, all of your firearms do come out until you start to get everybody out the car. And you realize, okay, nobody is apparently a clear and present danger. And you're dealing with everybody from maybe like an auntie age down to a baby girl that's like 5 or 6 years old. Come on. law enforcement, as a part of law enforcement, a big portion of law enforcement is 90% common freaking sense. Common sense. Human decency. How would you feel if that was someone that was related to you like that? You see a line of police officers, everybody out, guns drawn, tasers drawn, and then suddenly they realize that they're on camera, so now they are trying to I say reel it back in for public appearances. Now, not to say that all the police officers present did not have a genuine concern as far as like, how does this look? This is Aurora. This is a place where this police department already has issues. They just got rid of the officers that killed Elijah. And now we jump straight to this. But let's go ahead and finish it out.
12-year-old sister and two nieces, one 14, the other 17 years old. Police say a license plate reader alerted them the SUV was stolen.
You keep saying that a vehicle was stolen, but you haven't asked for a registration, a license, none of that.
Gilliam was detained and her sister and niece were handcuffed on the ground.
The whole point of you being a police officer is protect and serve for the people. You did not protect and serve.
Exactly.
You put a gun on 4 kids.
It turns out the stolen vehicle was actually a motorcycle, not Gilliam's SUV.
What?
Both vehicles
Wow.
share the plate number.
Did you catch that, gang? The tags are the same, except for one. Oh, I'm probably getting ahead of it. So the tag itself, meaning like I guess like how it's serialized or whatever, is going to be the exact same. They're going to have the exact tag, except for two things given away. One vehicle is an SUV. The other one is a motorcycle. The other thing is they're not even the same state. Before a felony stop happens, all these things should have been verified on top of verified on top of verified. Now that portion is training. But when you realize that the individuals that you are pulling out this car, you know, all gun-ho and heavy badge, you should have relaxed everything right then and there. But because they don't look like you, because they don't speak like you, because they don't look like a member in your family, you chose to do this. So now they literally have to pay. And we're going to get on that here in just a minute.
They were from different states. Interim Police Chief Vanessa Wilson weighed in.
So the mistake is that the officer was going off of what dispatch told them that was confirmed. So he was acting in good faith that was confirmed.
Two officers apologized, but Gilliam says the damage is done.
I don't accept that.
Yes, it is.
No, I don't want to hear that apology.
A traumatic situation, she says, changed her daughter's perception of police.
I hate cops. That's exactly what she said.
Aurora police say it's part of.
Look at that. Taser still in their hand. 1, 2, 3.
Stop.
At what point was it high risk when you just barely pulled your gun out?
Gilliam is now calling for change.
Get a new damn policy.
And that's it.
Now, Good Morning America.
Now, that was the story to remind us what we were looking at. Now, what I'm going to venture off to is what became of that. So what became of this particular case? Well, it took 3 years and a whole civil case later. So we'll pick up from there. I'm just gonna read a little bit that came off the Fox 31 channel 2, it looks like channel 2 news that covered the update to this. I'm just gonna read a little bit of it. That way, we don't have no copyright issues or anything. It says 3 years later, Gilliam has agreed to a $1.9 million settlement with city officials in the Denver suburb of Aurora to resolve a lawsuit that claimed that the police officers' actions were evidence of systematic racism, profound and systematic racism. A lawyer for the family, David Lane, announced Monday, quote, "I feel like those kids deserve everything for what they were put through, not just me," end quote. Gilliam said prior to the settlement. The Aurora Police Department remains committed, or this is what a spokesperson from them said to the media, that the Aurora Police Department remains committed to strengthening the relationship with the community through accountability and continuously improving how it serves the public. The city confirmed that an agreement had been reached in Gilliam versus Kwon, that's Kwon with K, spelled Kwon, in the amount of $1.9 million that settles that claim related to the August 2020 incident, the statement read. Now, what have we learned, ladies and gentlemen? What have we learned? That, yes, eventually accountability does catch up to certain entities. But something has to change. It is not so much a matter of training. This is a matter of police culture. Culture. Because all you have to do is look at these last two cases and break them down. Over aggressive, non-professional behavior. Heavy bad syndrome. And now it has cost them. And then, all on top of that, these ladies will carry their experiences negatively towards anybody in a badge, no matter where they go, for the rest of their lives. And it will be passed down from generation to generation. Why? Because when we had a chance, or this police department had a chance to change and turn around and revamp themselves, they truly didn't do it. And this is what happens. But guys, that's all I have for you on this one. Tell me what you guys think about it. Leave a comment down below, and we're going to catch you next week, okay? Y'all be good.